Good evening. I'd like to call the Lincoln Way Board of Education meeting for June 26, 2025 to order. Please stand if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Can you please call the roll?
Dana Barthold.
Here.
Katherine Johnson.
Here.
Joseph Kostick. Richard Lacine.
Here.
Caitlin Olenek. Deidre Stokes.
Here.
Aaron Janik.
Here. All right, we're going to move into the budget hearing. We have no one signed up for public comment. So I'll just ask real quick if anyone wants to make any comments. With that, Mike, do you want to jump in?
Sure. Last month, we discussed amending the budget. We followed all the protocols, public notices. The purpose was to incorporate the financing to own for the bus fleet and to record bond proceeds for the life safety improvements. Last month, operating surplus was about $1.7 million and just under 34% operating fund balance. We did receive additional property tax payments from the county prior to June 30th, so for accounting purposes, I recommended just capturing that. There's no reason not to. It'll help us for fiscal year 26 budgeting. Final amended budget before you tonight in your packet materials includes an operating surplus of $2,014,712, preserving operating fund balances just over 34%. And that surplus, the $2 million surplus, is appropriate, and it is necessary, just as a reminder, a necessary component of the budget process, as the board's fund balance policy requires us to keep enough surplus, maintain cash balances each year as a percentage of annual spending. Pending board approval tonight, there is an item to adopt this amended budget during the action portion of the meeting, and then we'll submit it to ISB and to our auditors as they plan their review of the fiscal year.
Any questions for Dr. Dubek? All right, hearing none, we'll close the budget hearing. Do I need a motion for that? All right, can I get a motion to close the budget hearing?
So, second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. We have no one signed up for public comment. We have no presentations this evening. We'll move into the consent agenda, items E1 through E6. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. This vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, moving along, we have the action items, presentation of invoices for May 16th, 2025 through June 26, 2025. I would entertain a motion to approve the invoices in the amount of $4,996,292.79.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions on the invoices? I just had one quick one. Let me pull them up real quick. While it loads up, give me 1 second. The Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, 1.2. I know a few months ago we were about 900,000. Can you just give us a quick little update on those numbers, Mike?
Yep, no problem. We've been oscillating kind of between 900,000 and 1.2 million, as you mentioned, and that is higher than in past years. I'm happy to say we aren't sort of over our skis as we were when claims were just rapidly going up post-COVID and sort of out over budget. Trending a little bit high this year budgetarily, but under in salaries. So as we amended the budget, we were okay in the aggregate, not a problem. Kelly and I have accounted for this. 1.1 is sort of the base we're using. As a reminder, this includes dental insurance as well, so that also skews that number a bit. But we're using that as a baseline for fiscal 26 budgeting, and then working with the broker on some cost reductions in the world of prescriptions.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, hearing none. I have a motion and a second. The vote is open.
Yes. This vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the presentation of fiscal year 2026 invoices. I would entertain a motion to approve those invoices in the amount of $2,635,427.09.
moved.
We have a motion and a second. Mike, anything on these?
Typical practice, just for transparency purposes, and since we don't have a 26 budget yet, we ask board support and approval for big-ticket items that we know about, since there's no July meeting. The three biggest ones here are CLIC, which is our liability insurance for $670,000. District 843 facilitates a pre-bill in July, and then one of our bus lease payments for existing vehicles at $1.2 million. So standard practice.
Any other questions for Mike on that? All right, hearing none, the vote is open.
The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
Next up, we have the treasurer's report for May 2025.
In May, revenues totaled 6.8 million, expenses 8.7 million, total cash on May 31 was 17.4. Through 11 months of the fiscal year, we were right on par with operating revenues and expenses. Additional taxes were anticipated in June, and we have seen those come in, and actually there was a distribution today. So we did get more than typical by June 30th. We'll make that adjustment next year, or in next fiscal year. Investment report through May, liquid rates were still at 4.2%, and we are now considering and working with PMA for additional investments, not only as the spring tax revenues are received, but as those life safety bonds have hit our books and been recorded. The bulk of that life safety money we do not need until summer of '26, so we're investing that accordingly. Not uncommon from a cash flow standpoint for some variances. There are 3 days, one in May, 2 in June for property tax collections, so nothing out of the norm there. I did include a separate memo in the treasurer's report called, in your packet materials, called 2025 bond closing. And just as a reminder, in early June, we did close on the bonds, had a successful closing. May 5th, as you recall, the winning rates were just under 3.5% for the debt certificate and 4.09 for the bonds. All required documents executed and wire transfers, and then the cash balances are in those sub-accounts. We are keeping, and I just want, for on the record and for all of you, the life safety bonds, we're reactivating the life safety fund. I believe I mentioned that last month. And so we're documenting that both from investment returns, from a spending standpoint, just so we can be really clean about how those, how that record keeping is occurring. So happy to take any questions you might have.
Question on the bond closing document. There's nine, ninth quarter, that's the last one. It looks like the ending balance is 1.612 million. Is that the interest that we're gonna earn? Or is
Yes.
that just, okay, so when we get to that point, if we have that left over, what do we do with that? Or do we abate along the way?
So that'll be up to you, and it'll actually, that 1.6 in the interest earnings was part of our analysis on why it made sense from, instead of chipping away at the bids and everything else, right? And so those funds are sort of incorporated in the larger bucket of the cost analysis. It would be up to the board at that time, if all projects have been expended, what else we do at, 2.5 years from now for what we want to do with those returns.
And projecting 2.5 years out, obviously, I think there can be cost increase. So 1.6, I'm not gonna hold you to 1.6, but
No, I understand. Yeah, and that is a projection, and again, working with PMA, they said, you don't know what's going to happen in terms of rates going up and down, so they used sort of a conservative minus 25 basis points, so it's at a 4.2. That could also change, right? So this is something we'll monitor, but what we have to do in a drawdown schedule is just show that we have a plan that we anticipate spending 85% of the proceeds within 3 years. We do. It's not an issue. We'll easily meet those deadlines. Yep.
And I think it's great that it's all itemized separately so that there's at least a way for everyone to see this is where we're at with the spending and where they're at.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
And easier
Thank
for the auditors to come in.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Are we still on track for early fall?
We are. We are engineers and architects. We have been in consistent conversations. I know they've sent some design pieces over that Chuck is working through right now. Actually, I think one of those invoices earlier that you just approved
25,000,
was from DLA. Well,
Oh.
it doesn't separate it out on the summary piece, but just so you all are aware, what we're also doing is tracking from an architect and engineering fee standpoint, just for DLA's cost and things like that. we're actually tracking those separately as well. And so for our, I don't know what you want to say, normal, more traditional year-over-year capital improvements, we're tracking this way. And the DLA costs are also going into Fund 90 for life safety as well. So, but yes, we are on track for fall.
All right, any further questions? With that, I'd entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the amended 2025-2026 Board of Education meeting schedule. And that is due to some timing of the budget for next year. Mike, do you want to update us on that, please?
Sure. Existing meeting schedule had it slated for August 21st. Typically, between August and September, you have 30 days. 30 days is the requirement for, as you know, the public notice, tentative and final budgets. We didn't have that. And so by moving it to Monday, August 18th, 2025, and using that as the August date, that allows for 30 days until September 18th for that meeting.
All right, any questions on that? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the amended meeting schedule? All right, can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the joint agreement with District 843, Operations and Maintenance. And I feel like I'm a broken record, but Mike, can you please
all good.
help us out with that? And Dr. Tingley obviously is not here tonight, so I'm kicking a lot of things over directly to Mike, so
No problem.
good job so far.
Thank you, sir. Annually, we bring an O&M services agreement for your approval. We provide District 843 with services such as inspections, evaluation of mechanical issues that arise. At times, we help them with development of bid documents. We do oversee fire safety compliance and then provide contractor support as appropriate and whenever needed. So the agreement presented tonight is for the 25-26 school year. It includes no language changes from the prior year. For our services, we charge District 843. The amount recommended here has just been adjusted for inflation and is set at $43,200. This was approved at the District 843 board meeting. I believe it was earlier this week. And recommended for approval with you. If you have any questions, let me know.
Any questions on the O&M agreement? All right, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the joint agreement with District 843 for operations and maintenance as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. Vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the intergovernmental agreement between Lincoln Way Area Special Education District 843 and Lincoln Way Community High School District 210 for use of the McKay Education Center.
In your packet materials is an addendum to the existing intergovernmental agreement between us and District 843. Again, no language changes other than, and the reason this is called an addendum to the IGA is, as you can see on the first page, Section 2 is just a revision of the dates to reflect the 25-26 school year as we continue to need and plan to use the McKay Center for our Bridges program.
Any questions on the intergovernmental agreement? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the IGA as presented?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the student activities report for May 2025. For the month ending May 31st, 2025, the student activity fund balance is $2,418,640.99 with revenues of $347,367.08 and expenditures of $171,970.77. We have one account in the negative, timing differences, and should be positive by the end of our fiscal year. Are there any questions on the student activities report? If there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the student activities report as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Stokes with the second. Can you please? Yeah, that's okay.
Second.
I saw Michelle looking for, who said that? Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. The vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
Next up, we have the appointment of the district treasurer for fiscal year 2026. Unless anybody wants to arm wrestle Dr. Dubak, I would entertain a motion to approve Michael Dubak for the position of school treasurer effective July 1st, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this appointment? All right, hearing none, can you please open the vote? And you already have. You're one step ahead of me.
This vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the amended fiscal year 2025 budget. Nothing further to add
No, sir.
from 15 minutes ago. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adopt the amended fiscal year 2025 budget as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. This vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the capital projects transfer. Dr. Dubek, you want to fill us in on this?
Yep. Transfer is planned and part of the budget. This is annually every June. 4.5 million is what we used when the board considered and approved this past winter's bid cycle for summer of 25 capital improvements. For accounting purposes, a separate resolution documenting the transfer approval is always recommended from our auditors.
So moved.
All right, I would entertain a motion. We have a motion from Deidre. We have a second. We have a motion and a second.
So we're transferring another 4.5 million, right, for next year's, that's basically what it's.
That's for the projects happening right now
Right
this
now.
summer that we
Okay.
will pay for out of fiscal year 26,
Okay.
post-July. Yep, correct.
We've done
Correct.
this
We-
several
we do-
years.
We do this
Yeah.
every year. It's an accounting exercise. Yep.
All right, the vote is open if there are no further questions.
This vote is unanimous. Motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the seal coating and striping bid.
Recommendation to approve Denler for seal coating work tonight. We continue to follow all of the bidding rules. We met all the public notice requirements and board policy requirements for responsible bidders. And I just want to say we have reached out, Chuck and Ariel out of our office did contact 8 companies, potential bidders for this work. As you can see in the bid tabulation here, Denler was the only one to respond. But that has been the case for the last 4 or 5 years. Chuck and I have discussed, feel that's really a result of just the time of year and how busy those contractors are at this point. And this is kind of smaller work for them, some patchwork and seal coating. But I know Mr. Welke has said that Denler, we have a really good relationship with them. They've done great work. So happy to take any questions you might have. But then with your support and approval, this gets this parking lots kind of seal coated, striped up before the school year.
Any questions on the seal coating striping bid?
Is this for all 3 buildings?
Yes. And transportation?
Yeah.
All 3 in transpo, right?
All
Yep.
four.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Square yards.
Mhm.
All 4 sides.
Mhm. Yeah.
With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the seal coating striping bid.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. Vote is unanimous, motion passes.
All right, next up, we have the second reading of policies. We had the first reading last meeting. Any changes that you're aware of?
No changes, as I believe was mentioned last month, some changes to the Title IX going back to 2020. No other changes in these policies, a lot of footnotes and references being updated.
Any questions on the policy second reading? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the policies as presented?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
It's open. Voting is open. This vote is unanimous, motion passes.
All right, moving on to the informational items. We have the report of the Lincoln Way Special Education District 843 Governing Board meeting held May 27th, 2025. Dana?
We've actually had two meetings. We had our June meeting ahead of this one on Tuesday. The major points would be that the fence that was to be installed around the playground for safety purposes has been installed. There is still one section that needs to be replaced. It's a gate at the back so that they could fit in equipment. So if there's a need to bring in equipment to repair anything, that they have that section. It was in the quote, but apparently it didn't get ordered with everything else. So they're just waiting on that piece to come in and get that installed. Additionally, the extended school year is underway. They're staffed appropriately. Transportation is running. Classes are up and moving over at Grand Prairie. I think that was all the major. Oh, and the only remaining item that's an outstanding piece is the S-Fund coding for private facilities. That is a new opportunity for districts to get reimbursement for students who attend Pioneer Grove. If they can make that a public 100% special education facility, that there are funds that would be allocated as reimbursement to the district. So that amount has not been established yet. I think it's still, they were anticipating they'd have it ready, but because the state received so many applications, I think they're still trying to figure out how much that reimbursement will be. So there will be some cost savings back to our district. We just don't know to what extent. So that was good. I think that's it.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next up, we have the FOIA requests. Those are included in backup materials. Any questions on those?
It's interesting. This one from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. There was an I there.
Which one? Oh, from, yeah, Ethiopia. Yeah,
Ababa.
yeah.
Purpose of our possession.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of curious about why we're getting
Yeah,
a
that's
FOIA request from Ethiopia. but-
interesting. About discussions about our June and our gun violence awareness.
Yeah,
I know you wouldn't. I'm just saying it's interesting.
I've never had a phone call from anyone over there, although a couple scam calls maybe recently. All right, the building and grounds report is included in the backup materials. If there are any questions, Chuck continues to do a great job preparing that. He can answer those. Nothing on the legislative report. Since Dr. Tingley is not here, there's no superintendent's report. Other district business, any correspondence?
No, sir.
No? And with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session for the discussion of the employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of employees, collective negotiations, and/or student-related matters.
All in favor? Say aye. Are we saying aye?
Got to entertain a motion to
Oh,
adjourn.
yeah. So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we will have action after closed session, but for now, we are in closed session. Thank you, everyone.
tough in the attic. I've had them in an attic
Oh.
at 110 degrees for the last
Jesus.
2 weeks. I'm
In an
like,
attic.
you guys did this to yourself. I told you all winter to get it done. I'm like, we'll get it done, we'll get it done. Oh, here we are, 110 degrees.
Yeah. All right, so we are back in open session. I would entertain a motion to approve the administrative restructuring as presented.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. Vote is unanimous, motion passes.
All right, and next up, I would entertain a motion to approve the non-union clerical support staff salary increases.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can you please open the vote?
Voting is open. Vote is unanimous, motion passes.
All right, there being no other business to attend to, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we are adjourned. Next meeting is Monday, August 18th, 2025. See everyone then. Have a good summer, everyone.